welcome to, or welcome back to, Total Spotfest. That's Jamie Faulkner. I'm JJ Brownlee. See, I can do it in reverse too. Welcome back to Total Spotfest. We have another action-packed week. Lots of announcements have been going on locally here in Kansas City. We got Dynamite, post Blood and Guts. Is this the end of the Dark Order? You know, that's kind of the question. You know, things have been going on, and they're in the home of Brody Lee. What's happening? So we got all sorts of stuff happening. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. If it's your first time here, hello. Join the conversation by hitting a comment down below on YouTube. You can hit us up on Twitter at Total Spotfest. Jamie, how has your week been, man? You been staying cool over there?
Yes, I have. No, it's actually been a pretty decent week. Was really looking forward to Dynamite, and then I watched it.
Yeah.
Not in a bad way. I know that sounds really bad. That's like a super hot take. Oh, no. It's
shit sucked. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not saying that.
I mean, you didn't have a realization that Buff Bagwell is not the Buff Bagwell on Twitter week, so...
Right.
And I feel he got me, and I think you were in on it. They got you too, right? Or were you? I was got 100%. You know what we're talking about. So woke Buff Bagwell, we thought was the greatest thing ever, right? A few weeks back,
yeah.
You know, and everything going on.
Yeah.
Turns out, much like the Iron Sheik's Twitter, that's not Buff Bagwell. Somebody else was doing, because obviously, you know, a twice divorced middle-aged white guy who's from, like, you know, red
former
Georgia, former gigolo, definite, you know, it was anyway. Well, and I know you started to have some stuff come off your calendar, so that's a good thing. The girls giving you a little bit of free time to breathe. I know that we got some stuff coming up here to actually do, because Journey Pro, which we said before, you know, unfortunate, you know, they had some HVAC issues with Agnes, so they did announce, though, their July show, and to combat any of those issues, they're just like, man, fuck it, let's do it outside at night. So they are. So Saturday night show, which I'm super stoked for. I think that's fantastic. I think it's going to be really rocking at Creighton Brewing Company in Raytown, Missouri. It is Raytona Beach.
It's the bash at the beach, baby.
And true, I have been on Amazon, a little bit of time I had today on my lunch break, looking for some new attire to wear, because this is a beach themed thing. I gotta come correct. So Saturday, July 30th, starting 7 p.m. Tickets are on sale right now. JourneyProKC.com. I have not checked at the time of this recording. I don't know if front rows sold out or not. They generally sell out pretty quick, those front rows. But from what they had announced on Twitter, it's going to be the Agnes rule, which is bring your own damn chair. Everybody seems
there
like
is
that.
No front row. It's just all one thing for $25.
Okay, all right. There is no front row, so plenty of seats available because everything's all the same. So I appreciate that, and it's the Agnes rule. So bring your own chair. I don't know what the setup's going to be. So. For those who've never been, Crane Brewing Company is right off of the Rock Island Trail over in Raytown. And so it backs up to it. They have like a big like gravel patio area thing, you know, where they got a bunch of tables and stuff. And, you know, people who are hiking and biking can just go right up, you know, park their bike, get a beer and some bar food. They're going to have a bunch of beer trucks. It's a brewery. Why do you need a beer truck, right? That'd be hilarious though. If at a brewery, they had a beer truck show up. But
that would be kind of amazing.
KC Beer trying to get in on that Raytown money. No, food trucks. It should be a great time. I know you're talking about potentially bringing some other members of your family with you.
That is 100% accurate. Somebody has been dying to see Heidi Howitzer. So if she gets announced, I will be bringing along little Audrey, who is the Howlett's #1 fan.
This will be her second, if she comes, this will be her second show. And I think that she's going to lose her ever-loving mind at a Journey Pro show. I mean,
yeah, she's her father's daughter, so.
I mean, she saw a bloodbath when they took her to CSW, but now what would she be seeing if she comes along? Because like I said, we don't have everything at time of this recording. We don't have everything announced. There's been 3 matches thus far announced. So we do have our main event, which is basically the carryover, which is deservedly so, from last month. Championship match. Your Journey Pro champion, Christian Rose, defending against the Russian Dynamite, Masha Slamovich. I didn't miss it after all.
You didn't miss it. You didn't miss it. And it's gonna be a match. Oh, show.
I was excited about just watching that on Twitch last month, and now we can actually see it in person. Also, a match that has a lot of intrigue for us here at Total Spotfest, let's put it that way, is The Reckoning, Luke Langley and Jeremy Wyatt versus the Workhorsemen. And for those of you who don't know, that's Anthony Henry and J.D. Drake. Yes, North Carolina barbecue proud J.D. Drake, the man with whom Jamie started a Twitter feud based on barbecue. So and
had a screaming match at All Out's pre-party.
We did, yes. Actually, that started it, or did you tweet
that started it?
Okay, all right.
That started it because I was just like, hey, that you were South Carolina. I was like, have you ever had real barbecue or something like that? I forgot how it started, but it was amazing.
It was one of those, he kind of threw it out there in passing, and JD, because they were all like going from one spot to another, right? And shaking hands, hey, as they go along. And Jamie said it kind of almost in passing, and it stopped him dead. No! The two of them were going at it right in the middle of this side party. It was fantastic. So
it was great. And like Marco Stunt was there cracking up because we were just getting after each other. He was cutting a promo. I was kind of cutting a promo. It was just good fun. It was good fun.
It was so good. You threw him under the bus to Colt Cabana a little bit later on.
Yeah.
Oh, that was, by the way, that was so much fun. I hope to do that again at All Out. But regardless, yes. For those of you listening, if you can, anybody, we definitely want to take JD Drake to Kansas City Barbecue, and he might still prefer his vinegar-based crap or whatever they have out there. But yeah, but fair is fair. Jamie back then said, when you come to Kansas City, I'm going to take you to get some real barbecue. So, JD Drake, if you're
a deal.
You're out there listening, this is what we want. So I might even just clip this and put it out there so we can tag him on it. But anyway,
absolutely.
Third match that has been announced, and Jamie, I think you commented on this most perfectly because it's 100% correct. So the third match is going to be Darian Bengston versus Kenny Alfonso.
Mm-hmm.
In a match that you will one day see on television. And you're 100% correct is what you said. So, ooh.
Mark Stradamus is calling this one because these two are the future of professional wrestling. Both of them are amazing.
Absolutely. They've both been getting good airtime around the place. I mean, getting beaten up by Wardlow a little bit, but that happens to everybody.
Who hasn't?
Right.
At this point.
I know, right? But no, it's going to be a fantastic thing. There's been, by the time this is released, there might be more matches announced. I know Heidi Howitzer has been teasing things, and we don't know what, hey, we could assume, but, my daddy always said about that. So, more stuff to come. Should be a great show. The last outside night show we went to was one of the most fun shows I think we had. The venue was a softball field, so it was kind of odd because there was a good number of people there. You felt, yeah. James was like,
this is church.
Or he's like, I'm still here. What the hell? No, it's like,
yeah.
but we were so spread out because it was so big. It felt a little odd. But this should be a little bit more intimate. It should be really cool at a brewery where independent wrestling really should be. Honest to God, if you can't be at your own place, hey, this is not a bad second choice. So Raytona Beach, Journey Pro KC tickets, like I said, available $25. Saturday night, first bell's at 7. Saturday night, July 30th. Come join us. It's gonna be loads of fun. Shit, ride your bike up there. All right. With that being said, before we get to Dynamite, we do like to talk about those who are in independent wrestling. Maybe you have heard of them. Maybe you haven't. Well, we like to spotlight somebody, and Jamie is going to go because I assume you have somebody ready for this week's independent wrestler spotlight.
I do. I really do. Thank you for the tee up, by the way. Yes, and you know what?
If I missed a gig, if I missed if I missed one of our cues, I think you would probably not talk to me for like a month. I'm just saying.
I mean, maybe, but this person that I have selected is one of the future stars of independent wrestling and wrestling as a whole. And you kind of just brought him up just a minute ago. He's facing off against Kenny Alfonso. This is a great spot to talk about Lord Darian Bengston, the man whose name has been misspelled twice. Once by AEW and once by Journey Pro.
It was misspelled twice by Journey Pro.
Oh, that's right. So 3 times. 3 times. But Darian Bengston, ladies and gentlemen, he is definitely worth a Google. He is on your YouTubes. He is a decent Twitter follow. I mean, he's not as funny as like the Heidis or anything like that, but this guy can go. And he is Atlanta-based right now, has Kansas City ties, and very, very good. Like, sneaky good. Like, if you actually didn't have to take 12 power bombs from Wardlow on Dark, you could see how good he actually is. But Darian Bengston is very solid. You can follow him on Twitter and on Instagram at Darian Bengston. And he spells his name a little different, but we'll have that below. It's Darian. And Bengston, this is where everybody got messed up because they want to do bang, like bing, bang. Bengston. So he is definitely worth a good solid follow.
As always, links down below for everything. So just, if you have problems spelling, don't worry, down below. Very good one. And I mean, we've been saying for a while here because we've kind of seen, I don't want to say the rise of, but I can't think of a better terminology. The rise of Darian Bengston. He came along as another guy. As a young guy, and then started getting some wins and getting some clout and getting some stuff. You can see he's been improving. Start to see him on TV. He's done other promotions too. He's been around Midwest quite a bit here. I don't remember if he's done GCW yet or not. I don't think he has. I think
no, but he did Terminus, Revolver. He's been around.
So he's been around to some of them. So most definitely, if you have not already, please check out Darian Bengston. Absolutely good spotlight this week, Jamie.
Thank you. I've had a good run of them.
Well, at least you're humble.
That's one of my gifts.
Mm-hmm. Humble like
being
a
humble.
Absolutely.
God damn it.
All right, let's go into it. So I didn't have anything else. You want to get right to Dynamite?
I think it's a good time to go right into Dynamite.
I'll do one little note before you do, if you don't mind.
Of course.
Impact's been good. Keep watching Impact. They had their little semi pay-per-view against all odds over the weekend. Some fun matches in it. Mia Yim and Mickie James teaming up. You've got very interesting developments going on there. It seems like the real life friendship of Deonna Purrazzo and Chelsea Green's permeating now into Impact Wrestling as they go. Good stuff. Jordynne Grace is fantastic as the women's champion. My God, she had a title defense against Tasha Steelz. That was great. Lots of good stuff there. Impact Wrestling. If you haven't been following it, please do check it out. It's really good wrestling, honest to God. So, all right, let's talk about Dynamite.
All right, well, let's just get this out of the way because Jamie's going to talk about this for a hot minute. So this starts off with a match, and it's a street fight for the TNT Championship. Scorpio Sky with Dan Lambert and multiple top team people, which I've never seen.
Team people.
Local competitors. Huh? But anyway, so going against War Daddy Wardlow.
War Daddy.
And
don't sugarcoat, just give it to me, man. Come on.
Okay, yeah, Wardlow won. Worst fucking idea ever. Not because Wardlow doesn't deserve a title at this point, because I'm not saying that. But you basically just shit on Scorpio. 100%. And that guy is freaking amazing, ladies and gentlemen. He is arguably one of, or not the most athletic guy there. At his eyebrow game's on point too. Megan always tells me that. But the thing is like, you've built him up and you had him absolutely demolished by Wardlow. Like Wardlow and him went through one commercial break. Yay. But it wasn't a back and forth. And then it ends up with, Mr. Mayhem powerbombing 3 times Scorpio. And then then he did a kick-ass swanton. I have to give him props. He did look good with that swanton. That thing looks sick as hell. Looked like the Mark Jindrak swanton.
Yep.
So
I
anyway,
wrote down that swanton because that was amazing looking. He's got skill.
It was.
He does.
And then he destroyed the top team, whatever. But I'm more pissed off that they should have done something here because Wardlow is hot, and we talked about this on the last show. We definitely did.
Sure.
And we said that this is a bad idea to thrust him in here because now he's got a title. What do you do with him now? Who's going to come after him?
Well, it's got to be Miro. That's the goal. I don't know if you start with Miro is the thing. Is my point.
Yeah, but I mean, like that's the thing.
Know.
And Heather said this very well, and I'm going to give her props yet again. The MJF thing definitely threw a giant wrench in all of this.
Yeah, they booked themselves into a corner in a way. Not all their fault. Like Heather said, it's true.
Yeah, but here's the thing. When you book yourself in the corner, bad things happen. That's why you never put booking in the corner. That's a Dirty Dancing reference.
I got it. I know.
Okay, I'm just helping our followers.
Helping those followers who are under 30 out there. They're like, oh.
I'm sorry, but this is just irritated the shit out of me. Like, this would have been a good spot for Sean Spears to come out and interfere in some way and cost Wardlow to lose. And Wardlow's loss still wouldn't hurt because he got screwed by somebody other than the top team, something like that. And then you could have set up a feud between Sean Spears and Wardlow for a while in order to build him up to get back into the title scene later. When he's even hotter and he deserves it, and he gives Scorpio some time with the belt. Scorpio hasn't had that belt really that long. What, a month? 45 days?
He is a 2-time champion because he held the first one for less than a week, give or take.
Yeah.
Right? And then he got it back like a month ago. Yeah. And so you're not gonna put Sammy. You've already taken Sammy out of it, thank God. But I don't know where you go with that. Miro, you're not gonna thrust Miro in the middle of this yet, right? They are being more deliberate with Miro, which I enjoy. You could, I don't know. You could put Claudio in there because who is conceivable to defeat Wardlow the way he's been booked is the other question.
Nobody.
That's a short fucking list, right? CM Punk. That's pretty much it right now, right? Maybe Hanger. You could justify Adam Cole potentially if he was healthy. Get better, Adam Cole. Concussions can be a bitch, They're being smart with it, though. I appreciate that. Malachi, Miro. That's it, right? Maybe Claudio.
Yeah,
Maybe Claudio, because he's brand spanking.
But then they're going to do the one thing that we've been bitching about too. Hey, I'm new here. I'm going to thrust them into a title picture, have them lose, and then they go into oblivion.
Well, I mean, I don't think they're going to do that with Claudio, but I'm saying who is conceivable to beat him is my point, and that's the. Yes, I mean, first of all, the match itself, and of all the matches that happened, this was probably my least favorite match. Honest to
100%.
God. Street fight my ass, for one. Street fight, it was basically just a no DQ match. Guys came in the ring and they got thrown out by him. That was the street fight ability of this, right? There was a low blow that happened. Ooh. There was no fucking street fight. There was no crazy shit. I wouldn't mind seeing what Wardlow could do with some of that. Pull out some tables and some crazy. Let's go to fucking town, right? You want to have a street fight? Let's get bloody. Let's do it.
Yeah, do it upright.
But they're protecting him, which I get it. But I also disagree with it, you know? And you negated Ethan Page. You could have Ethan Page come in and cost him the match, right? Then you have justification. But they didn't do that. Ethan Page just sitting there. He didn't even get involved. He in the match. He was directing traffic to local talent and then getting hit by a dude that he gets thrown on the whole group and he's out, right? Meh.
It just irritated me. Like, you wasted Scorpio Sky. Like, that's the way I feel about it.
I do, and I have faith that, you know, for the most part, TNT title booking has been pretty solid longest run. It has been the title that changes hands the most, which I actually appreciate. Let's see what that next step is, because, you know, like I said, my worry is, where do you go? Who can beat Wardlow?
Well, and here's the thing too with Wardlow. With War Daddy, if you will. His longest program was with MJF. Yes, there's some long-term storytelling that went behind that.
Sure.
But his actual feud with them was like 30 days.
Yeah.
That's all it was. It was not very long at all.
So, I mean,
and
is MJF completely out of it? They actually mentioned him by name for the first time tonight since the pipe bomb. So I don't know if that's just reading.
Do they reinsert him and he gets the dub and gets the belt? Like, do they do that? Do they have Sean Spears get into a nice long program with him? Because those two would be gold, you know, to be able to do something like that.
There's possibilities. It's just I don't see many of them, you know, and that's the thing.
No,
I think
the way he's booked, where he has to squash everybody. One, I hate to say this, it does make him look weak. I know that's the opposite of what they're trying to do. But in my opinion, when all you do is squash matches, that means you are a weak-ass wrestler.
It's the female Jade Cargill.
Jade Cargill.
Oh, there you go. It's the male Jade Cargill is what they're doing. Ironic that
and we know he's better than that, though. That's the problem. He's better than that. He's proven that he's better than that, but they book him as a bitch. I'm sorry.
Well, it's the old trope of John Cena, right? Wardlow is Tony Khan's John Cena. At least that's what the evidence is telling us right now. That Wardlow he is to Tony Khan what Goldberg was to Eric Bischoff, what John Cena was to Vince McMahon. This is the guy I'm putting all my chips on for the future. And yes, he's got the look. People love him. He's getting better on the mic.
He is.
He can wrestle. He could actually wrestle. Well, yeah. He's done like that cage match against Cody. It's like fourth match. It was really good. He can do this stuff. Don't book him in a corner. So let's see what happens.
Don't put Wardlow in a corner. No one puts Wardlow in a corner.
Nobody puts Wardlow in the corner.
All right. Well, anyway, so let's just move on delicately past that. We had a interim AEW World Champion Jon Moxley. Says plenty of people have tried, you know, whatever, it's fine. He was just talking about all sorts of fun stuff. It was just a weird thing.
There was a lot of real short little promos like that throughout the night. It felt like a reset night post Blood and Guts, right?
Yeah, like, I mean, I heard, like, the big thing I got out of it, what I wrote down was step up or get stepped on. Okay.
That's going to be a t-shirt. Okay.
There it is. Then you had Smart Mark Sterling and Tony Nese approach Keith Lee with a petition to remove Swerve Strickland from the AEW because he's a snake who betrays people, which I kind of like that, like the way he turned on with the Battle Royale, whatever. I like that little thing. That was
I
great.
like Smart Mark Sterling's kind of like his. At first, I was like, "Who the fuck? Why are they putting this guy out here as his lawyer for Jade?" And then now I love Smart Mark. He's great. Everything he does.
He is. I'm a big fan of him.
Yeah.
Then you had the in-ring segment between Christian Cage and Luchasaurus again. I really don't care about this. And then Matt Hardy comes out.
I think that this was forced, like the whole Hardy thing. It's like, come on, this is not. What year is it? Seriously, you're gonna bring Hardy out to go against Christian? It's like he has got great heat going, and now he's got Luchasaurus behind him. There's momentum, and it felt like Hardy being now the scribe of his quips just is killing any momentum he has. It's like I don't care about Hardy Cage 87 or whichever version this is.
Oh yeah, I know. Like we've seen this program 4 or 5 times. Like I'm good. I'm good with like. I want to see what they do with Luchasaurus. That's what I really want to see because
I want to see when Jungle Boy gets healthy again, how that's going to figure in. And I like to see. I think it'd make more sense going to Fancy Booking Island. Christian Cage with Luchasaurus out as his heavy, right, going against young talent, right, because he can shoot this whole thing that. You think I'm here to help this young talent like Jungle Boy? You saw I did the Jungle Boy. I'm gonna do that the same thing. Darius Martin, and they go after Darius Martin. Like have him like go against the young future, right? I think that would be better than whatever the hell this was. And it just,
yeah. Well, we'll see what happens here. I mean, I think it's already set up for Christian to get the win over Matt because Matt is eventually in his old age is kind of turning into a jobber. Let's just be real.
I love Matt to death, but especially if what happens with Jeff too, how much time does Matt really have to wait for that one last shot? I don't know.
Yeah. So after that, you had a Claudio thing. Him and Hager go against each other. Wednesday or Friday?
Next Wednesday. Fighter Fest Night 1, apparently.
Yeah, Fighter Fest already here. Wow.
The only interesting thing I found about this, I mean, let's see Claudio. Thank God. Jack Hager did drop the words WWE in the middle of his promo, though. That's the first time those letters have been actually ushered on AEW. Just saying.
No, they have. They've been said.
Have they?
MJF. Twice.
Oh, okay. Touche. But
not to have a pornographic memory or anything. All right. So after this, you had a very quite enjoyable match.
Yes.
I enjoyed the hell out of this match. Keith Lee and Swerve Strickland versus the Butcher and the Blade with the Bunny. And this match was a ton of fun.
So much fun. I mean,
it had everything.
Yeah. Butcher and Blade looked great. They're healthy, both of them, finally, right? And yeah.
Yeah, if Andy could just stay healthy, man. Like, Andy's just big and just
he just got bad luck after just like domino effect of shit luck.
I know he gets hurt, his band breaks up, he gets hurt again. Just like, damn, dude.
I know. Ugh.
Poor guy. No, but this match had a lot of good everything. The winner obviously is Keith Lee and Swerve Strickland because honestly, it's more about what happens after this match. It also made it even more enjoyable. Here comes Powerhouse Hobbs and Ricky Starks, who I'm a big fan of. I'm a Ricky Starks guy. I've officially decided I'm 100% Ricky Starks.
After he spit fire tonight, I was like, Jamie's going to be in love because that promo he cut was, ooh.
Yeah, Hobbs called him a trick ass bitch. Like, I thought that was great. But no, like, that's all I gotta say. Like, his promo skills are really, really good, and he gave you a hint of it at Forbidden Door.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
and he's done it before in the past with some of his little quick things with
Little sprinkles,
Swerve in there. But this one was by far his best one. And then you insert the Bucks on top of that. There is just fireworks, like extra 4th of July. Like, in my opinion.
Plus, you got the crowd chanting FTR in the middle of it, which was amazing.
I'm glad you brought that up.
Oh.
So we're definitely setting up a triple threat, or maybe insert FTR as well because the fans are calling for it. But I don't think so. Not
triple
yet.
threat next week.
Yes, but I'm saying, like, you're going to insert FTR at some point. Don't waste it because you have Ring of Honor coming up.
It's got to be all out, man. It's got to be. Because they
haven't
haven't even
become the belt collectors.
Right. They haven't even really approached Bucks and FTR. Really. They just kind of very vaguely hinted at it, right?
Yeah.
It's got to be set up for it. Because we're 2 months away right now from All Out. It's got to be All Out.
Yeah. So the Bucks are going to definitely retain. And the Bucks, for the second consecutive year, ladies and gentlemen, calling it now, they're dropping that belt.
All Out. A tradition unlike any other.
Yes. Yeah. There's certain things, You kiss people under mistletoe.
You get the Masters every spring, and then the Bucks drop their belts at All Out.
All Out. Yeah. Had a really solid in-ring segment from Eddie Kingston again. But then
I have things to say about this.
Good, because I want you to take this, because I do want to talk about the Tay Conti slamming Ruby Soho.
Hey, Ruby.
There you go. See, I have your cue.
You say me, you used to try to steal it from me, but I appreciate
you. This version of Tay Conti, I have lots of things to say about this. So why don't you go ahead and take this one?
All right. So if any of you missed it, Eddie came out there. He said that it was good. They got the win, but he didn't get what he wanted. He didn't make Jericho bleed, right? And Eddie's probably one of the most over men in wrestling right now. Everybody loves Eddie. We fucking love Eddie, right? Everybody who's ever met him in person says they love the hell out of him. Well, mostly. CM Punk, Claudio, maybe not so much. But in the middle of it, then on the screen, because he's in the ring with Shivani, and on the screen, Jericho pops up, Eddie, and you could hear somebody crawling in the background. I know exactly who it is, because it is definitely a female that's being screaming in pain. They're getting the shit beat out of them. You could hear it, right? And Eddie's telling, and Jericho telling him, this isn't over, this and that. He's a wizard and all this stuff, but it's like this is what you're gonna get. And then it goes back, and you have the whole Jericho Appreciation Society circled around, basically. Tay Conti beating the shit out of Ruby Soho, putting her arm in the back door of an SUV and slamming on it, hurting her arm. Oh, JJ mad at you, Tay Conti. But for one, here's at least not a second match of the night, but at least you're making storylines for women outside of just the title picture, right?
Amen.
Good.
Preach.
And this is something I'd want to see. Tay and Ruby, they have familiarity somewhat from their time in Performance Center, a little bit. They overlapped slightly, so there's some familiarity there with that. Tay's had a good rise when she was still face, right? She had the big Brazilian goddess entrance at whatever, I think it was All Out last year or whatever it was. Double or not, full year, whatever. But no, so she's done very well. She's gotten a lot better since she's been in AEW. Ruby's back to the Ruby. He said Ruby being stuck on Dark, being kind of the developmental coach is not the best spot for her. She's too damn good. Yeah. We've seen that against Alley Catch and some of the other indie shows she did. She did first, was it it was one of the Chicago promotions. I think it was Freestyle. No, not Freestyle. That's not the right. Freelance. Thank you. She did a match against Josh Alexander at Freelance. That was ridiculous last winter. So I mean, it's good for them to have something pertinent to do. It's a good thread for Eddie too, because you don't get right to Eddie Jericho, right? You got to get
Yep.
around it. Santana's hurt. Ortiz is still out there. He wants more blood. He's going to be still involved in this. But now you've got the female aspect intertwined with it. I liked all of this because it wasn't too much either. It was just enough setup so that we can have this going on. Now, what was your thought about it?
I am glad for this version of Tay Conti.
Yes.
Sorry, Ty Conti. I always say Tay.
Eh.
So Ty Conti here, this version of her, not the super annoying girlfriend of Sammy Guevara, but the badass that we know. This is awesome. Like, this is what we want. And this could also save Sammy, too, because Sammy gets good heat. I mean, he's close to X-Pac heat because of everything. Hopefully, then he can turn the corner. Like, there's lots of stuff that this right here, this little thing, has set up. Because, yes, Blood and Guts was a big piece, but I really believe this right here, this segment, opens up 100 doors to keep this thing live and active until All Out easily for the payoff of Jericho Kingston one-on-one again.
Right. In a ridiculous stipulation of some sort match, right?
Yeah, first blood match, something like that.
Locked in a cage, no escape. I mean, who knows, right? You know,
Yeah, Shark Tank.
A Shark Tank. Underwater with only 3 minutes of air. I don't know. Yes, this does everybody good service. Like, I don't know if anybody immediately attached to this whole bit there that is not good, other than, of course, Santana, who is going to be out for a while, right?
It sounds like a long while. They would not. They talked. They only thing they said is like this could be a long injury.
They didn't say ligament, but it's a ligament. It's got to be.
It's got to be. And the thing is he was looking to leave at the end. Like, he's been looking to get out of AEW because I guess him and Ortiz have had some kind of falling out. That's per reports.
That's not, the reports I heard were misquoted too. It's like the people who I remember that report was actually quoting SRS, and he's like, "I never said that." Sean's like, "That was I've never heard that. This was not a true report." So that was ringside news. They've gone. They've gone.
Yeah, what is up with ringside?
I don't know. They used to be really good, but they don't cite shit anymore. They're blatantly making stuff up now. Like I said, I mean, if they have a source, say it, even if it's an unnamed source. If you heard that from somebody in AEW, that's a good scoop to get, right? It makes the journalist in me blood boil. So anyway, don't know for sure if that's true or not, but this serves good for everybody involved, especially Tay and Ruby. I think that for one gives Ruby a real direction because they're not going to thrust her into the title picture, which I'm happy with because they have no direction with the title pictures right now. So stay the fuck away until you get an actual course. And yes, I'm with you. This is the best Tay. This evil, vengeful, mean, physical Tay. I'm for it.
I mean, she's always shown, like, when she wrestles, she has that in her.
And the fire,
but now
right?
she's
yeah.
Now she just stays all fire all the time. Ooh, she could take a title and rock it pretty hard, honestly.
I mean, that's a trope
TBS.
that's a trope that has been very successful. I mean, it has,
Yeah, absolutely. So after this, we had the Brody Lee appreciation with the Dark Order, and
Brody.
Like, as soon as they came out, like, my emotions started going because it's like, oh god, Brody left too early, and it was actually very nice. John Silver, who is from Long Island, which is not necessarily close, but in New York, and he's like Rochester's Dark Order country, which I really liked. Evil Uno says that the fans have made what Dark Order is today, and now they're starting a new chapter. There's 6 of them, and they're Dark Order for life. But this is a new thing, and they're starting something new, and he hands the microphone to -1, and here comes QT Marshall. So
The continuity is technically there because QT Marshall and -1 have had a thing going on through the vlogs and on Dark and on Dark Elevation. That's a big thread for the casual fan to pull. Honestly,
yeah,
I hate to say that, but it is.
yeah. So he says Brody Lee Jr. Isn't his father, which I was like, damn. He tells -1 to send his friends to the back and he'll come face to face like a man. Then here's the thing, though.
This is interesting.
Here came Adam Hangman Page. Do we have a new chapter finally of Adam Hangman Page being their leader, even though after 3 people have left?
I would like to say yes, but you burned me once. Okay, you burned me twice. Burn me 3 times. I don't see it happening. I think that I don't know. And then they give the mic back over to -1, and they all beat up QT Marshall, right? So I'll do their finishing move, and Tin does the salute to Brody Lee. The big kiss and lariat and good fun, right? And then -1 says that he'll take him up on it, but he'll see him when he's 19. Signaling that he's gonna go Nick Wayne route, and in a few years he'll start actually wrestling, and then down the road he'll be in AEW, whatever, right? Okay, cool. I don't think. I mean, as much as I hate to say this, I'm wearing the Dark Order shirt for right now. I love me the Dark Order. I just think they're gonna stay in mid-card irrelevancy, casually associated with Hangman, but I think they've got other plans for Hangman. I really do.
I do too, based off of what I saw from being the Elite.
That's a lot where my statement comes from.
And if you haven't watched Being the Elite, do yourself a favor and watch it. It's actually a lot of fun. It's the last of the good vlogs. And it's even watered down from what it was. It used to be way better.
I skipped through it now.
I know. I like the Nick Nemeth stuff. I'm like, no.
I'm sorry. It's just some of that stuff is just weird. I'm sorry, Nemeth, but
the cream, yeah. Hey, whatever, man. Different shirts for different folks,
I mean, what do you? Do you think there's anything more for the Dark Order than just being a mid card irrelevancy? Unfortunately, it's kind of where they're at. They've already basically separated Jay for the most part. That if
she has her own music now.
If they want to cut her into her own thing, it's easy to do, right? Silver's kind of like he's got his own following. That's whatever, Evil Uno has got other things he does for the company, specifically video game and content creation related.
I really would love to see Stu come back and him and Stu get a God blessing title.
Just to hold it once.
They deserve it, man. Like and the fact that Stu is still gone just irritates me. Because Stu is so goddamn good. And that little shoot promo he cut on Hanger saying, he can't do the one thing, and like that was from the heart. You could definitely tell. And
let's put a big pin in this for this fact, okay? You already made mention Death Before Dishonor coming up on the 23rd of this month. I know for a fact, because I've heard them say it, that a good number of current AEW talent is going to actually be ROH talent. And I'm looking at you, Colt Cabana. He said not even as much. He literally said that on one of his Twitch streams within the past week. I was watching him. I always have Twitch on the background when I'm not on, on phone calls. I'm doing like busy work, so I always have a Twitch stream running. And I had Colt Cabana was playing Among Us or Fall Guys or whatever. And someone was asking him about that. And he goes, well, see, the thing is, I'm still employed with them. I haven't been on AEW in about 5 months, but AEW also has this thing called Ring of Honor. And I'm going to be involved with them, we've heard that Brian Cage is part of Tully Blanchard's, stable, right? That's why they re-signed him. I think there's others that are going to be around there, and whether that's the path for the Dark Order to kind of revive, or if it clears up space where you get Stu and now you can have the Dark Order, which is what I hope. I mean, I think that the Ring of Honor thing is going to open up possibilities because it's going to take some of the talent that's just been kind of, in the middle of nowhere and give them something to do, right? That's my hope. We'll see what happens, though.
Yeah. We'll see. All right. So you asked this question last show. Hey, where's Roosh been?
Well, about that.
Ask, and you shall receive, sir.
Oh, God.
And
boy, did I receive tonight.
Without hesitation, I'm going to call this my match of the night. Without hesitation.
I'm with you 100%. And you know me, I love lucha, so yes, but
yeah, but it wasn't your typical lucha.
It really
that's
wasn't.
The beautiful thing about it.
Yeah, it
no.
wasn't.
So you had Roosh with Andrade El Idolo and Jose the Assistant going against Penta Oscuro Pentagon with Alex Abrahantes and Mr. Ray Phoenix. And oh my God.
I mean, it was beautiful.
Like the hits, the old school lucha trying to take off the mask, Roosh trying to take off Penta's mask. Like everything was just so damn good. And finally at the end, Roosh tears off Penta's mask and is able to roll him up because he tore off his mask. Like perfect heel shit there, man. That's lucha heel shit 101, baby. And that's why I loved it too. It's like, oh man, like they had to use some of the old tropes and they had a lot of the good shit. Like, man, this was just a fun ass match.
It was a lot of fun. We've long swooned about Penta. We love us some Pentagon on this show.
Mm-hmm.
Love the Lucha Brothers, but Penta especially. And Roosh is one of those that if you didn't know and you didn't follow, boy, were you missing out. Because, I mean, him pairing with Andrade is just masterful for both of them. There's a shared history between Roosh and Penta going back to AAA. So, I mean, loved everything about this. And the whole masculine. This is now the second time he's stolen Andrade's or Penta's mask. He's also stolen Ray Phoenix's mask. Last Friday, he stole Ray Phoenix's mask. So I love it. This is great. And it wasn't anything more than it didn't need to be. But it's going to keep going on.
No.
And that's great. You no longer have Death Triangle in the middle of, House of Black. So they can move to other things too. So good. This was the good stuff.
Yeah, this sets up. This is another reset setup moment. And I think this one was perfectly executed, to your point.
Yep.
Looking forward to what this is going to build.
Just think of the tag matches they're going to put together between those four.
Oh, my God.
Woo-wee.
Yeah. I feel like Wolfman from Top Gun. Hard on right now. Sorry. All right. So then after this, you had the Jay Lethal talking about his upcoming match with Samoa Joe at Death Before the Dishonor.
Cool.
So Death Before Dishonor has 3 championship matches, and I'll go ahead and let's just talk about those right now.
So far announced. There's
so far they have 3 championship matches announced. So Jay Lethal versus Samoa Joe. Then you have Wheeler Yuta going against Daniel Garcia. Sneaky good.
That could be a steal the show match if it wasn't for the next match.
Yeah. Then you get FTR Briscoes 2.
Please God, give me more of that.
Yes.
Oh. See, Tony, you could do it, man. You can do it. Just do a little better on some of this weekly stuff. Okay? All right. Man, that's
yeah.
that's. I mean, there's more to this card, but I don't care. I'm buying it right now. I don't.
Just because that match alone is worth the $20 or however much it is.
Right. Well, and I'm sorry, and Yuta Garcia is gonna slap too. Let's be real.
Oh yeah, yeah. Since we finally got the Yuta that we've been dying for, like we talked about for months, and finally this is Blackpool Combat Club came around. We got him, and this is the guy. All right. So after this, you had a quick Sterling with Orange Cassidy trying to get the signature about Swerve, and then ends up turning into a match between Tony Nese and Orange Cassidy at Rampage.
There's Dan Danhausen thing coming in, and it's it's fun.
So fun. This is a little Swerve moment for me as well. The Acclaimed and the Gun Club versus Fuego del Sol. Poor Fuego. And Ruffin It. That's Leon Ruffin and Bear Country. Yeah.
Everybody on the other team I feel bad for because it's kind of like you all should have a higher profile. I mean, but whatever. This match served one purpose and one purpose alone.
Good old daddy ass.
Yep.
That's who it served. So the winners of the match were the Acclaimed and Gun Club, obviously. Caster hits the mic drop. Austin tags himself in, so he's able to steal the win.
And there was some proclivities before the match. Austin Gunn walked past and swiped the mic from Max before he could get into his diss track on the entrance. So
yes, which pissed off the crowd. That was easy heat.
Yeah,
easy heat.
I mean, it was. But to your point, I feel like you're getting a stamp coming up here soon.
Yeah. So anyway, so tension got really bad. The Guns, start to attack the Acclaim. Billy stops his sons. What are you doing? Yells at him, says, cut it out. But he turns around and drops Caster himself with a stiff punch. Bowens asks Guns to scissor him, and he eats a famouser instead. So there you go.
Curse your inevitable, what was it? Curse your bitter but inevitable betrayal. You called it. They're making the claim face. This is how they're doing it, and they did it in a great way. Gun Club got great heat out of this. Even this was good. This was good stuff. This match wasn't anything to write home about, but it was fun. It was good enough.
It was a fun match. It wasn't very long.
Served purpose. You finished. You moved this storyline forward. You now have the Acclaimed as face, and let's see how the fuck that goes, because that'd be weird. But
mm-hmm.
I'm all for it.
So after this, he had a promo with Miro saying that he's not done with the House of Black and Malachi Black. Miro vows to destroy the gates of hell and warns them that the Redeemer is coming. So good.
Malachi versus Miro is going to be a lot of fun, and it holds the place for Miro until we get to that TNT title, because that's a Vince All Atlantic title. Cool, whatever. The TNT is Miro's title. He's the one that needs to have that.
Agreed. So after this, you had the sole one, yes, only one, singular, uno, women's match of the night. We're not bitter about that whatsoever.
But there was 4 women, so that's like 2 matches. No, it's not. It's not.
So it counts as one. It's just like when you eat nachos and you have like 3 or 4 nachos connected because of the cheese. Counts as one nacho. Everybody knows this.
Everybody knows it. But be that as it may, this match was enjoyable.
It was very enjoyable. Nyla Rose and Marina Shafir came out with umbrellas. At first, I'm like, what? Oh, I get it. That's terrible. But like in the I'm chuckling terrible way. I like
Nyla and Marina together. I think
me too. It gives Marina something because she sucks by herself. I'm sorry.
Anything out of her fighting ability, yes. Not good. Sorry, Marina. It's true.
Yeah,
this is great.
Zero emotion.
But this is great together. So I'm all for it.
Yes. So the Beast problem, going up against
okay.
Thunderstorm.
All right. These shipping names, I can't take them. Okay, all right.
The only reason I did that is because Thunderstorm.
They have a T-shirt already.
Yeah, and they've had one match together, but they're Thunderstorm.
I just don't like the shipping name. That's me. Okay,
no, that's fine. All right. Well, the Beast problem going against Thunderstorm. I'm doing it. I don't even care.
No.
It was a good match. If you thought that Toni Storm and the current and reigning and defending AEW Women's Champion Thunder Rosa was going to lose, you were sorely mistaken.
Oh.
And they got the dub. Rosa and Storm team up to slam Shafir for the win. They even have a tag team move together. Like, it was like, are they making a women's tag team division now?
It's the weird thing.
I'd be for it.
I mean, you got them, these two teams of which we will not reiterate their manufactured names. You have
Beast problem?
Mercedes. Stop it. That's worse. I'm sorry. That's worse than Thunderstorm. Because Thunderstorm's at least their name. You're taking both of their nicknames and make, okay. All right. That's my rant.
You have a problem? I have a beast problem.
Sounds like you need a level 106 tarnish to take care of that. Okay.
Yes.
You've got also, though, because I think it was advertised for Rampage as well this week, if I'm not mistaken. But you have Mercedes Martinez and Serena Deeb doing their unlikely but a lot of intrigue tag team as well. You've had other female tag teams in the past too. Penelope, wherever the hell she is, and the Bunny, if she ever gets healthy, they were, so you've got plenty of them out there. What do you say? I think that there's more possibility for a women's tag title than there would have been for an All-Atlantic title.
Yeah, no, that or a trios title too. But no, I would love to see more with the women. That's just, like, we've talked about this.
2 matches. It's not that much. We're not asking for a lot. 2 matches on Dynamite. Cool, right? At least they're starting to get some angles that they're incorporating. So it's more than they had, but come on, Tony. 2 matches. Do it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't feel like you're asking too much. Are you? For 2?
Maybe I am. Maybe I'm a greedy bitch.
Like, maybe? I don't know. I don't feel like you are. I really don't. And what would be a good nickname for Mercedes Martinez and Serena Deeb? Professor Payne?
So after the match is over, we went to
Professor Payne's solid.
Away from
That's solid.
It's actually pretty goddamn good. Please, let's move on. Let's generally move on. You won, Professor Payne. That's the win. We're gonna go with that. Okay,
that's solid. That's a solid ass name. All right. So after this, Layla Gray is after this, you had Layla Gray officially as an interim baddie. Whatever. Got the shit, Tony. Daniel Garcia talked about doing the Ring of Honor thing. Then FTR. So then let's go ahead and get to the main event. And that is Brody King going against John Moxley. Yes, you have another Brody going into Rochester, ladies and gentlemen.
I thought for sure that he would have thrown that shade in his promo that he did earlier. Moxley did. It's like, I'm sorry, you're the wrong Brody to win in Rochester, King. That's what you should have said. I mean, that's the line. But to catch everybody up, Brody actually won the what the hell was it called? It was like the Royal Rampage, or I don't even remember what the hell it called.
Yeah, it's the Royal Rampage.
But I don't think it was royal, but whatever it was in essence it was two mini Royal Rumbles held at the same time. So you had 20 men, there's 10 men for each ring, and they started off with 2 men in each ring, and you had to stay in your ring. Basically, you couldn't go jump back and forth between the 2 rings when they had them set up for blood and guts. And then just like a Royal Rumble or a Battle Royal, over the top, touch the floor, you're done. When there's one person left in each ring, then those 2 would meet, and then whoever is the last man in the ring is the winner, right? And it came down to Brody King was the 10th entrant in the one ring, and Darby Allin was the other person. He actually started off in the second ring. And they both got on the apron. They're going to get to it. And then Brody grabs him in a sleeper, turns away with his back to the rope, so he's facing the crowd. And it was such a good spot. They showed it like 8 times before the match, which I'm so happy because he just turns towards the crowd. Darby's sitting there and his body goes limp, and he just drops him off of the apron. It was like, you're the winner. It was so good.
Yeah, it was pretty sick.
Oh, so that's why Brody got here. Go.
So this match was exactly what I was expecting. I mean,
hard-hitting shit.
Y'all want to see a dead body? Like, that's how it felt. Like,
yeah.
Yeah. Like it was a tough watch in the best way, if that makes sense. Like, it's like, ooh.
It was violence, but enjoyable.
Very violent.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which is what it's supposed to be with these 2 guys. So cool.
It had everything you'd want. It ends up really. Okay. If there's one thing about Moxley I don't like.
Yeah.
It's the goddamn bulldog choke. And it makes me think of Brian Kendrick, because he used to do the Captain Jack hook, the hook. He called it the hook, whatever.
Is it because of that hold, or is it him doing the hold?
Him doing the hold. I think it's just a weak ass choke.
Okay.
Like it's not Heat Seeker level annoying to me, but it's close. Like
what would be
he should do something way cooler than that.
Like, what would be a better hold for him to do? Lion Tamer, we know. Yes. Okay, got it.
No. He was not a Lion Tamer guy. No.
Really?
Yeah, totally.
Okay.
I would say either a simple crossface or a Texas Cloverleaf. I think he would do great with a Cloverleaf.
Cloverleaf. What about triangle?
Triangle choke? Yeah, but Bryan Danielson does that.
That's a good point. He does. You don't want to have too much overlap. I mean, crossface is kind of like the label lock too, so.
Kind of, but it's a different variation.
I think his has to involve a choke of some sort, because that kind of goes with his thing. The obvious answer is a rear naked choke, but that's not really his style, I think thematically the bulldog choke fits his character well, but I'm with you. It's not the best looking. It's like, okay. It's all right,
I mean, maybe the old school Hayabusa triangle where he's laying down and the legs going across.
Yeah,
he pulls his arm up like that one.
That'd be cool.
That'd be good. A face figure 4. That'd look pretty sick.
That I'd be down for that for sure.
Yeah. So but I just hate the bulldog.
Okay, well,
I just hate it. Moxley wins, of course.
Yeah, no doubt. Unfortunately for Brody, because I love me some Brody King, but you ain't winning this belt.
Yeah, like he hits a paradigm shift, misses. Like he hits it, he goes to do a bulldog choke. King slams him out of the way. Then he fires right back up, no sells the shit out of it, and gets a bulldog choke. So hey, whatever. It was like a 13 minute match, and he no sells the very end. Hey, whatever. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that was your okay AEW Dynamite.
They don't all have to be bangers, and this, we talked about this off camera, and I think we might have hinted on it. It was a reset night. It definitely was.
Yeah. So since we've had time to actually talk about it, since we originally talked, went through it, the more I think about it, the more I do like what this Dynamite has potentially set up. I think that is bigger for me than the actual show itself. And to your point, it's a reset. Like, hey, we need to get more storylines going. This is what we need to do. Blah 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 blah. So now, this is that moment where we get to see, does everything happen based off of like what happens next? Like, I'm really really interested to see how they waste Wardlow some more. And then what do they do with Scorpio since they absolutely destroyed him. I'm sorry if I get Wardlow heat because he doesn't deserve the belt right now.
You're fine.
Then
no, I don't disagree with that statement.
No, I'm talking about from our fans. I'm just saying, if our fans give me some X-Pac heat for that take,
give him Wardlow heat down below.
Yeah, like at Total Spotfest on Twitter. If you're on the YouTubes, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, comment. Really helps us actually. But anyway. Tell me that I'm an idiot. Whatever. I don't care. But I think it's the wrong time. Right guy, wrong time. That's all I'm saying with Wardlow.
I am with
you. What happens next there? What happens next with Rush and Andrade going against the Lucha Bros? Like, do they waste that? What about the triple threat? What happens out of the triple threat? What about what more are they gonna set up for Ring of Honor? And what are they gonna do with the women? Like, can we get more going on? Like, what is going on with Ruby Soho and Ty Conti? I really want to see what happens there. Like, what are they gonna do with Sammy and all that? Like Sammy and Ortiz going at it because they used to be friends. Now they got beef. Like, let's get some layers going. That's what I'm saying. Hopefully, this is what this does.
I tend to think I hope it is too. I think realistically, AEW, if Tony's being smart, and overall for the most part, we haven't had major issues with any of the long brush strokes Tony Khan has been doing with the booking, right? It's like the whole Wardlow thing. I think that maybe his hand was forced. Like I said, he got MJF kind of booked him into a corner with that, right? We all can agree on that, but I think overarching the stuff has generally been pretty good. So, I figure you got in a couple weeks, you got the Ring of Honor thing. To me, I'm not going to use the word, it's not necessarily brand split, but I feel like that's going to be an emphasis of what we're kind of getting at here, So you have people like, because they're even showing you, because they have some of the people who they signed for Ring of Honor who haven't been on AEW at all or on this Rampage, right? You got the rest of Blanchard's stable, whatever the hell it's called. I don't remember. But, they're in a tag match with Jonathan Gresham and Lee Moriarty. And, I think you have a lot of these people who are earmarked to be part of that. We don't know if there is a TV deal that goes along with Ring of Honor. Everybody's assuming there's going to be one. But I think no matter what you do, that's kind of the first priority there is to clear up that space. And then you've got All Out and you've got Grand Slam to book for. So they're definitely putting some foundational pieces in there. How well do they build that house, though? We shall see,
Right.
I think this is going to be good stuff here. So you guys let us know what you think. Do you think this was a good, setup? Do you think it was, not good? Are you as unhappy with Wardlow getting the title as we are, even though, we talked about that? Let us know. Give us your thoughts. Anything else you want to talk about, Jamie?
Yes, I have one last thing to say before we wrap. I would like to wish my wife a happy 21st year of wedded bliss anniversary. You've put up with me for 21 years. Today
You're a saint.
Is our anniversary. She is a saint and should be treated as such.
Congratulate. I was hoping to get you to that, but good of you to remember first, as you should. But yes, happy anniversary to the Faulkners, Jamie and Jen. You guys keep it up for another 21 years. Thank you for giving me Jamie to go to wrestling events so often. That is very kind and gracious of you. And who knows, maybe in a few more years, you might actually have like some peace of quiet around your house.
No, not happening.
Not a few more years. It's going to be a little bit.
Yeah. Audrey's only 7.
I know. At least 11 minimum.
Yeah. Minimum.
So Megan will be back in the house by then. Don't worry about it. All right. we're not going down that path. No, happy anniversary, Jamie. We do appreciate you. Like I said, we do appreciate your wife for letting you join us here on this community. So everybody wish Jamie a happy anniversary. We will be back next Thursday, regularly scheduled time. See what we got going on. We'll talk about Fighter Fest Night 1. Okay, I'll talk about that next week. I was gonna get in a little rant about the special named shows. It's just too many, but we'll talk about that more next week. Anything else that happens, we'll let you know. Once again, Journey Pro, our good friends over at Journey Pro. Tickets available now for a show on the 30th. Crane Brewing Company, Raytown, Missouri, 7 p.m. It's Saturday night. Bring your own chairs. It's going to be a great time. $25. Journey Pro KC. We'll probably get some people on from Journey Pro as we get a little closer. Keep an eye on the Twitters and all that stuff for more matches to be announced. And as always, hit that bell down below if you want to be notified, because we do got some interviews that we do release periodically. We don't do them every week, but we do have some that we do coming up here that are scheduled to be released. So if you want to know when those are going to be announced, just hit that bell down below and keep an eye out. Usually Tuesdays is when we do that. And we want to thank you for giving us some of your time. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. We do appreciate you. Jamie, go ahead and take us home, man.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you're not down with Total Spot Fest, I have 6 words for you.
Wow, I'm way off there.
Don't book Wardlow in a corner.
Don't do it. Don't do it, damn it.
Done did it.
Don't do it again. All right, guys. We'll see you next week.
Peace.